Back to the another tutorial, and in this tutorial I will be talking about 10 mistakes to avoid in your Android app manifest file. Okay, so this is my Kotlin app project, and in this project I have this manifest file, the Android manifest file that you will easily find in your source folder on under this main folder. You have a Android manifest file. Okay, so this is it. You can also go directly from this uh, open file. You can just go to this lens, click this lens, and whenever you click the lens, you will open the destination, like the file, the selected file in the desired location. Okay, I mean the respective location. So it's like kind of a finder. Okay, so okay, now what is the Android manifest file? Android manifest file is the cornerstone of your Android app. Okay, so it's the most important file of your application. Okay, Android application. It's a XML document. As you can see here, the format is XML, that serve as a blueprint declaring essential information about your application to the Android system and Google Play Store. Okay, so it declares all the essential information, like as you can see all the information about your application, like the name, like whatever, like it's allowing backup or no, not, like what is the full backup contact, what is the icon of the application, and it supports right to left, the theme, target API, and many more, and all the permissions that it is getting used, and what is the launcher activity, and many more. Okay, so this is actually the launcher activity, that is the survey activity, and okay, so it's many more things been declared here. Okay, so that this is the thing that you have to take care about. Okay, so we will now be focusing on the 10 mistakes to avoid Android app manifest file. Okay, so the first one is like the permission. Okay, so like requesting unnecessary permissions, like I'm requesting here all these permissions, but requesting unnecessary permissions, this raises privacy concerns and might deter users from installing your application. So this is the mistake that we have to be careful. And now the second mistake is like the version confusion. Okay, so using an incorrect version number or neglecting version control, this can lead to compatibility issue or updating problems, like the version name. And the third mistake is like missing the mark. Okay, like forgetting to declare essential components like activities. Like if you forget to declare the essential components like activity, like for example you have an activity and you forget to declare activity, then obviously whenever your application will try to launch the activity, then it will crash, saying that the activity is not being declared in your manifest file. So if you forget to declare your essential components like activity, services, or broadcast receiver, then it's a huge mistake. So, and also another thing is like the number 4 mistake, the fourth mistake that you will be that usually happens is like neglecting to specify the minimum and targeted SDK version. So this can lead to compatibility issues with older devices. Okay, like the target API, as you can see here. And now the fifth mistake is like overlocking the landscape. It means like not specifying the screen orientation support, portrait, landscape, etc. You might find your app unusable on certain devices, like what is is it like portrait or landscape. If you don't define it then properly, then you will have a this can be a mistake. Okay, so and the number 6 mistake, in the sixth mistake that you can do is like the data dilemma. Okay, like incorrectly configuring data access through content providers. Like this can lead to security vulnerabilities or data sharing issues, like incorrectly configuring the data access. Okay, so if you do not configure it like properly, then you can have a huge problem with the data access. Okay, And the next one is like icon, like using low resolution or incompatible app icons, like this creates a poor first impression to users. Like if you have a the icon which is of poor resolution, and then it can create a issue, okay, in your like UI UX, like user experience of your application. And the another mistake that you can have is like the mystery of the metadata, like misusing the metadata elements, or including unnecessary information. This can clutter the manifest and potentially cause parsing issues. Okay, so for example, if you all these metadatas, like if you provide some unnecessary metadatas, okay, this is the necessary one, but if you provide some unnecessary metadatas like this one, then it can have some issues with the like they can lead to some issues related with parsing. Okay, then just try to avoid the unnecessary metadata. And the next one is the copy paste scenarios, where like you are blindly copy pasting the manifest file from other online sources like tutorials, YouTube videos, without understanding their purpose. This can lead to unexpected behavior. So you cannot blindly copy and paste. Okay, so blindly copy paste, because this is a very important section of your application, so you cannot blindly copy and paste anything. Like for example, you cannot copy and paste this one in your manifest file. Okay, so it can without understanding it. So always try to understand what you have declared in your manifest. Okay, so it's very, very crucial and important. And finally, the documentation. Okay, if you neglect to consult the official Android documentation for the manifest file and its attributes, this can lead to confusion and errors. So always consult the documentation. Okay, for your documentation for your manifest file, the official Android documentation from developers.android.com. okay, so that's it, guys. These are the mistakes. And now I will also be talking in in some, I will be listing some of the solutions. Okay, so as I already told you, you just, okay, let me relist all the solutions. Is only request the permissions that your app genuinely needs to function. Carefully review the Android documentation for each permission before including it. Okay, read and understand the purpose of each elements you should include in the manifest. Don't just copy and paste. Okay, follow a proper versioning schema. Okay, that is like measure, minor, patch, like leverage version control system like Git to track the changes. Okay, only include the relevant metadata elements that are essential for your app's functionality. Ensure all your app's components are properly declared in the manifest with appropriate attributes like Android .name, like this one. Okay, proper attributes are all being declared. Provide high resolution icons in various sizes as specified by Android documentation to ensure proper display on different devices. Okay, so you should just properly display like you should ensure that high resolution icons are provided for various sizes of your application. Okay, so this is the most crucial thing. You have to like make sure that you have high resolution icons. Make the Android developer documentation your best friend. Refer to whenever you are unsure about any specific attributes or elements. Just refer directly to your Android official documentation. Okay, this is also the thing that you have to understand. Double check the Android authorities attributes for content providers, ensuring proper data access control. Okay, so and clearly define the minimum SDK version your app requires to function and the target version for the optimal performance. Okay, so this is it. Okay, now I will also try to give you some brief introduction about manifest file structure. Obviously, your manifest file structure, the root structure is obviously it is enclosed in manifest. This is the root element that encloses all other elements within the manifest file. It has a mandatory attributes like package, and XMLS Android. Okay, so this is XMLS Android. Okay, where your resources Android is the schema. This is the schema. Okay, this should be declared here. Okay, and also the XMLS tools schema should be also declared here. And the second one is the application section. This element defines the core components and configuration of your app. It contains various sub elements like activities, as you can see here, services, permissions, you know, and many more. Okay, let me see if I have any services being here. I have provider here, as you can see here. So now you also have permissions, that all the permission that is used by your application here. So you can you just specify the permissions your application requires to access certain resources or functionalities like camera, location, internet access, etc, etc. And then you have also a metadata. This section, this elements actually allows you to store additional key value pair of data specific to your app. Okay, so for example, you can just see the metadata. It's like a name and path. Okay, key value pair, like, you know, as you can see here in this format, right? Okay, so that's it. Okay, so and what else, guys? So let me see also some other if I can give you more other information, like some essential elements and attributes. Okay, let's break down some crucial elements and attributes you are gonna encounter in manifest file, like your application element. Your application element has some crucial elements like Android icon. This attribute specifies the path to your app icon resources. Then you have an Android label. This one, this attribute defines the human readable name of your app that will be displayed to user. Okay, and then you have a Android theme. This attributes actually allows you to set the default theme to your app's activities. Okay, and then you also have this prefix. Some crucial elements of your manifest file are: this prefix declares the namespace for your Android framework elements, and yeah, that's it, guys. You also have some other mandatory functions like packages that actually defines a unique identifier for your app similar to a Java package name. Okay, okay, so yeah, all the rest is all being defined. So what are some best practices and tips? Okay, just keep it clean, guys. You should always keep it clean and structured. Okay, your manifest file, you should well organize, and comments, like you can write some comments. Okay, if it is necessary, you can write your comment in this format. Writing the comment. Okay, so you can write the comment in your manifest file in this format. Okay, and then just comment, keep it clean, and just make notes. Okay, for better readability and maintainability. There is also a version control. Use a version control system like Git to track changes and changes whenever you push okay, your manifest file. Okay, and some of the best practices that you should follow is like minimum and target SDK. Okay, clearly define the minimum and target SDK versions your app requires for compatibility. The permission management, you just need to also request only the permissions your app genuinely needs. Okay, and explain their purpose to the user. And documentation. Okay, refer to the official Android documentation for detailed information in its elements and attributes, guys. So this is all the things that you need to follow. Okay, guys, and yeah, you can just check out this link for your app manifest overview, as you can see here, guys. Okay, so just go and check out the official documentation of Android. And okay, finally I would also like to provide you a simple interesting concept in manifest file that usually it's not being discussed, that is called queries. Okay, in Android manifest, the queries elements are used to declare a visibility needed for app with respect to other app. Okay, so it's relevant when your app target Android 11 API level 30 or higher, when the system filters out certain apps by default to improve privacy and security. Here's a big okay, so let's break down some concept about the queries. So actually the queries are something like, let me just queries. Yeah, a query is actually like this. Just can define intent like action Android name Android support like, yeah, this is some simple example. Okay, like custom a simple example, but you can also like this is will be the structure. Okay, so just be care and you just define your so this is the query. Okay, how the structure will be looking like. But the point that I want to discuss about the query is like what is the purpose of the query? The purpose of the query is to allow you to specify um, okay, yeah, you can check out the queries here. Okay, this is the official documentation of query here. Okay, what is the purpose of the query? The purpose of query element in your manifest is like it will allow you to specify which other apps your app need to interact with, ensuring they become visible to your app for communication or data exchange. Okay, so when to use these queries is like you typically use it only if your app relies on functionality or data from other apps that might not be automatically visible due to Android filtering mechanisms. Okay, in these situations, these scenarios, you will be using it, using queries. So how to how it works? There is an Android provider. Android provider, as you can see here, this attribute specifies the authority of a content provider from another app that your app need to access. Okay, so yeah, within the query elements you can use different attributes to specify the target apps. Okay, so there is also Android name, as you can see here. This attribute specifies the package name of the target app your app needs to interact with. And finally there is an intent. This attribute allows you to define an intent filter signature that matches the intent filters of other apps. This is useful when you need to interact with apps based on functionalities they offer, not to their exact package name. Okay, so what is the benefit of using queries is like improved visibility, ensures the app necessary apps are visible to yours, facilitating the communication and data exchange. Enhanced functionality like allows your app to interact with other apps, unlocking features or functionalities that rely on external data or services. And just be careful, just remember that don't overuse the query element. Only declare the apps your app genuinely needs to interact with. Okay, be mindful of privacy implications when requesting access to other application. Refer to the official Android documentation for detailed information on queries elements and its attributes. Okay, so just please refer to the official documentation of Android, guys. And yeah, that's it, guys. This was all about Android app manifest file, the mistakes that you usually make and the solutions. And hope it will provide you a good way to start with Android manifest file and create a nice and wonderful Android applications. And thank you guys. Please do subscribe me, please do comment if you have any questions, and just share the video if you like it, and catch you up in the next lecture. Thank you guys.